Okay, in trimming all kinds of melons, whether it's cantaloupe, honeydew, cassava, whatever, the one thing that you want to do is make sure you have a flat to work with. So what we're going to do is go in here and take off the ends and then stand it up. As you can see, that gives it a nice standing point to where it doesn't like wobble on you. Then what I'm going to do is just take a very shallow cut going down the skin. Now you can see that there's still green on there. So my next cut, I'm going to go in a little bit deeper, but following the curvature of the actual melon. And I actually want to take as many cuts as possible, because one of the things that happens is if I was to trim this in just 4 cuts, what you would actually see is a square cantaloupe. And so the more cuts, the merrier. I like to say if you start with a round, you want to end with a round. So you can tell that it's taking a little more time than just hacking it out, but what's nice is I have more control over the finished product. And so what I'm doing is just using this line right here, that little green line, as kind of my gauge of where to cut. And just following this around. And what's nice is, especially in the summertime, you get these nice watermelons. It's nice to do the same exact process with it, and so that way your customers or your family doesn't have to deal with all the rinds. It's already pre-cut, pre-trimmed, pre-cleaned. Once I come back to my starting place, I'm going to just take the peels and move them away. We have pre-washed the melon. Use the gentle brush on it to clean out the pores. And I'm just going to look anywhere there's some green. I just want to gently trim that off. Again, because I want to give the best I can to my customer. And yet retain the most product. So there's 2 ways I can take this now for my fruit tray. I can either do chunks or pieces, or I can do slices. It just depends on the overall look that I want to do. The first demonstration I'll do is just, first let's get the seeds out of it, and then we'll go from there. So what I have is just a standard serving spoon. Come in here, and if I've drug any seeds through the meat, I want to make sure to capture them. Come in this side, scoop this way, reverse the spoon back, scoop it out this way, and then just scoop out those inner seeds. What I don't want to do, when I'm putting it in my compost bag, is I don't want to shake this out over a garbage can. And repeat the process on this one. Again, just coming in, using the shape of the spoon, the shape of the melon, flip it over, come back. And obviously, the more of these you do, the more proficient you get at it. Take your time on your first one, build speed later. Get it to where you can do it perfectly, and then practice your perfection. So again, I'm just fishing all those seeds out, so that way I have a clean melon to work with. Then I'll demonstrate 2 different ways. So the first way that I'm going to do is, if I was cutting it up into pieces for chunks, again, it would be for more kebabs. I would call it a dice, but it doesn't have a true dimension to it. So one of the things you'll notice is that the cantaloupe has a radius to it. It's a half moon shape. So what I want to do is position my knife to meet the curvature of the melon and try to keep those the same thickness. Then I would turn it, and following that same principle, come in here, 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 and so they're roughly the same size, like that. The second one gives a different look, and that's just slicing right through it. So I'm using my index finger as a gauge for the slices. I want to keep all the slices approximately the same thickness. Again, taking my time for accuracy. As you do this more and practice this more, you become faster at it. Now what's nice about this is if I need to build out a lot of trays, I can put an offset spatula underneath and transfer this to a sheet pan for later. But just for demonstration purposes, I'll show you. As you put it on your tray, you can fan it out nicely and it becomes a nice presentation.